8.27. After the recording. Yeah. So about Parishad Maharaj is asking about various creations, about the living entities, the position of the living entities. Then Parishad Maharaj says, just by drinking this nectar of the infallible Lord, by drinking the nectar of the infallible Lord, it is like a flowing, which is flowing down from the ocean of his speeches. I do not feel any sort of exhaustion due to my fasting. Now let's see what Sutta Goswami says. Sutuvacha sa upa mantrito rakya kathayamiti tat satpatehe brahmarato bhrusham prito vishnuratena samsadi sa upa mantrito rakya kathayam iti satpatehe brahmarato bhrusham prito vishnuratena samsadi. Vishnurata, one who is devotee of Lord. So, Maharaj Parikshit is addressed as Vishnurata. And Brahmarataha, that is Sukadeva Goswami. So, Sutta Goswami says, Sukadeva Goswami Upamantritaha, thus being inquired, by whom? By the king Rakya, Kathayam, in these topics, Itihe Satpatehe, the highest truth. This is the highest truth. The inquiries are all the highest truth. Brahmarataha, Sukadeva Goswami is very much pritaha, very much pleased in the meeting with Maharaj Parikshit. So the questions were asked by Maharaj Parikshit, and the questions are so wonderful because they are the topics of Krishna and they are the absolute truth. That is why Sukadeva Goswami is very much pleased. When there is a question asked by the Shaunakadi Rishi to Sukadeva Goswami, what is the highest thing which is beneficial for everyone? The answer given was, the very question itself is the most pleasing thing, or is the most auspicious, is the most beneficial thing for everyone, because the very question itself is related to Krishna. Whatever topics related to Krishna is always auspicious for everyone. Muneha sadhu prishtoyam bhavatir lokamangalam yatkatah Krishna samprashno inatma suprasidati. Your questions itself are so wonderful. If you see the first canto, second chapter, 5th verse, Muneha sadhu prishtoyam bhavadir lokamangalam. This is the only thing which is going to bring mangalya, is auspiciousness to the whole world. Yatkatah Krishna samprashno. It is related to Krishna. That is why Yenatma Suprasidati, that is going to satisfy everyone. Gyandeep Prabhu, please mute your phone. Gyandeep Prabhu, mute your phone. Raksha Mataji, read.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, आज मेरा टैबलेट मेरे पास नहीं है, आस्था का एग्जाम है तो उसके पास है, मगर मैं श्लोका पढ़ सकती हूँ, मेरे पास श्लोका पढ़।
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा। सौपामन्त्रितो राज्ञा कथायामिति सत्पतेः ब्रह्मरातो वृषं प्रीतो विष्णुरातेन संसदि. Sutta Goswami said,
come in the proper
Sukadeva Goswami being invited by...
You come in the proper range. You're sometimes come in the proper range.
Mati, yeah. I know this place, no? I'm having some problem.
No? Shift the place. Go to the proper place.
Coming to, yeah. Yet. 1 minute.
Now read the
translation. Sutta Goswami said, thus Sukadeva Goswami being invited by Maharaja Parikshit to speak on topics of the Lord Krishna with the devotees was very much pleased. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam can be legitimately discussed only among the devotees of the Lord. As the Bhagavad Gita was authoritatively discussed between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the Lord and the devotee respectively, similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the postgraduate study of the Bhagavad Gita, can also be discussed between the scholars and devotee like Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaja Parikshit. Otherwise, a real taste of the nectar cannot be relished. Sukadeva Goswami was pleased with Maharaja Parikshit because he was not at all tired of hearing the topics of the Lord and was more and more anxious to hear them on and on with interest. Foolish interpreters unnecessarily tackle the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam when they have no access to the subject matter. There is no use in non devotees meddling with the two topmost Vedic literatures, and therefore Shankaracharya did not touch Srimad Bhagavatam for commentation. In his commentation on the Bhagavad Gita, Sripad Shankaracharya accepted Lord Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. But later on, he commented from the impersonalist view, but being conscious of his position, he did not comment on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Sukadeva Goswami was protected by Lord Krishna by Brahma Vivarta Purana, and therefore he is known as Brahmarata, and Sriman Parikshit Maharaja was protected by Vishnu, and thus he is known as Vishnu Rata. As devotees of the Lord, they are always protected by the Lord. It is clear also in this connection that a Vishnu Rata should hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Brahmarata and no one else, because others misrepresent the transcendental knowledge and thus spoil one's valuable time. Hare Krishna.
Brahmarata nahi. Brahmarata and Vishnu Rata. Rata means Rati. So much of Rati to Vishnu. So much of Rati. Yeah. And Rata also means in the Brahma Jnana. So much of expertise. Okay. Next. प्राह भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्म संहितं ब्रह्मणे भगवत् प्रोक्तं ब्रह्मकल्प उपागते प्राह. Now, he said, who said? That is Sukadeva Goswami said. Sutta Goswami is saying, after hearing the questions, Sukadeva Goswami, who is Brahmarata, started speaking. So now here, it is now Sutta Goswami saying. It is not Sukadeva Goswami Uvacha. Sukha Uvacha is not. He is relating now. He said, Bhagavatam, the science of the personality of Godhead. See, what is the meaning of Bhagavatam? The science, that means practical application of the relationship of the jivas with the Lord. The science of the personality of Godhead, Nama Puranam, Nama of the name, Puranam, the supplement of the Vedas, Brahma Samhitam, just in pursuance of the Vedas, Brahmane, unto Lord Brahma, Bhagavat Proktam, was spoken by the personality of Godhead. Brahma Kalpe, the millennium in which Brahma was first generated, Upagate, just in the beginning. So he began to reply to the inquiries of Maharaj Parikshit by saying that the science of the personality of Godhead was spoken first by the Lord himself to Brahma when he was first born. Srimad Bhagavatam is the supplementary Vedic literature, and it is just in pursuance of the Vedas. Supplementary Vedic literature, that means to emphasize every instructions in the Vedas, every principles of the Vedas. This supplementary is very much required. We say a supplementary drink. Everybody has some calcium, minerals, everything, but there is a supplementary drink given. Why? So that you boost your energy. So Vedas already has all the instructions. To boost that knowledge or to understand that knowledge very nicely, the supplementary knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam is very much required. And here, the inquiries which was made by Parikshit Maharaj was related to Krishna, that is the science of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Tene Brahma Udaya Adi Kaviye Muhyanti Yat Suraya. We have studied this in the first chapter, first canto, first chapter, first verse itself. जन्मादिस्य तुल्ययादिकर्तः चार्तेषु विक्केश्वरात् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादि कवये मुह्यन्ति सूरयः तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदि कवये is Brahmaji. To Brahmaji, Adi Kavye, this Brahma Jnana is revealed within the heart. So that is how Krishna speaks Bhagavatam first to Brahma, and he is the first born. Okay, Gyandi Prabhu, after a long time, read. Always I think you returned from office.
No, 8 o'clock, so I have come home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Verse 2.8.28. Praya Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Brahmane Bhagavat Proktam Brahma Kalpa Upagate. Translation? Yeah, Upagate. Translation. He began to reply to the inquiries of Maharaja Parikshit by saying that the science of the personality of Godhead was spoken first by the Lord himself to Brahma when he was first born. Srimad Bhagavatam is the supplementary Vedic literature, and it is just in pursuance of the Vedas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of the personality of Godhead. The impersonalist always tries to misrepresent the personal feature of the Lord, not knowing the science of this great knowledge. And Srimad Bhagavatam is in pursuance of the Vedas and scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead. To learn this science, one should take shelter of the representative of Sri Sukadev and follow in the footsteps of Maharaja Parikshit without foolishly attempting to interpret, thereby committing a great offense at the feet of the Lord. The dangerous ways of interpretation by the non-devotee class of men have played havoc in understanding the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the careful student should be always alert in this matter if he at all wants to learn the science of Godhead. Hare Krishna Mate. Thank you.
Okay. Next. Next is the last verse of this chapter. Then we'll start with the 9th chapter. Yat yat parikshit rishabah pandunam anupuchati yat yat parikshit rishabah pandunam anupuchati anu पूर्व्येण तत्सर्वम् आख्यातुम् उपचक्रमे यत् परीक्षित वृषभः पाण्डूनाम् अनुपृच्छति आनुपूर्व्येण तत्सर्वम् आख्यातुम् उपचक्रमे यत्. So whatsoever Parikshit, the king, Vrishabha, the best, Pandunam, in the dynasty of Pandu, is the best. Anuprichati went on inquiring. Anupuryena, till the beginning, from the beginning, Anupurvyena. Purvyena means from the beginning to the end, Anupurvyena. Tad, all those sarvam fully akhyatum, to describe. Upachakrame, he just prepared himself. So whatever, so many questions were asked. So right from the beginning, whatever questions were asked, everything was described in a very, very wonderful way. That means he started fully describing everything, nothing was left. Okay, Anupruchati, whatever was asked, based on the teachings of the previous acharyas, whatever were asked, in the same, now Sukadev Goswami went on replying. Okay. Aruna, read.
Sorry, Mataji, power is gone. I cannot see.
Okay, Gyanti Prabhu, today
Only
you
here.
only have to do everything. Read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. यद यत् परिच्छद्वृषभा पाण्डुनामानु प्रक्षति अनुपूर्वेणेन तत्सर्वात्माख्यातुमुपचक्रमे. Translation: He also prepared
Keep your
himself
video off if your
to
connectivity is not
reply to
proper.
all that king's
Keep your video off,
Pariksha
Haribol.
had inquired from him.
Keep your video off because your mobile connection is not proper. Okay. Gandhi
He
Prabhu,
also
what
prepared
happened?
himself to reply.
Wait, you all don't read. The video is not, this is not proper.
Am I audible, Mataji?
Yeah, now we read. If your connectivity is
Yeah.
not good, keep your videos off.
Yeah, okay.
Now read now.
Translation: He also prepared himself to reply to all that King Parikshit had inquired from him. Maharaja Parikshit was the best in the dynasty of the Pandus, and thus he was able to ask the right question from the right person. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Parikshit asked many questions, some of them very curiously, to know things as they are. But it is not necessary for the to answer them in the order of the disciples' inquiries, one after the other. But Sukdev
It is not
Goswami,
necessary for the
experienced
master.
teacher
Wait,
that
I'll
he
read.
was, answered all the
Prabhuji,
questions
wait,
in a systematic way.
It is not for the
Yeah.
master to answer them in
Okay,
order
Mataji.
of the disciples' inquiries, one after the other. But Sukadeva Goswami, experienced teacher that he was, answered all the questions in a systematic way as they were received from the chain of disciplic succession. And he answered all of them without exception. So it's not necessary the teacher has to answer everything in the same order. But because Gurudeva Goswami is an experienced teacher, he did it very wonderfully. Now let us see. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the second canto, 8th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Questions by King Parikshit. So Vishnu Ratha, that is King Parikshit, asking the question to Brahma Ratha, that is Sukadeva Goswami, and the questions are very satisfying. Munya sadhu pushtoyam bhavate lokamangalam yat Krishna samprashno vinatma suprasidati, like how Sukadeva Goswami praises Shaunakadi Rishi. In the same way, here the questions asked by Parishad Maharaj has been praised by Sukadeva Goswami because they are relating to Krishna. Shri Shukavacha Atma Maya answer with this 9th chapter is answers by citing the Lord's version. Shri Shukavacha Atma Maya Krute Rajan Parasyaनुभवात्मनः न घटेतार्थसम्बन्धः स्वप्नद्रष्टु Ivanjasa. Sukadeva Goswami says, Atma, the personality of God, Maya, energy, Rute, without, Rajan, O king, Parasya, O of the pure soul, Anubhava Atmanaha, of the purely conscious, never, Ghatet, it can so happen, Artha, meaning, Sambandha, relation with the material body, Swapna, dream, Drashtu, of the seer, Iva, like Anjasaha, completely. So Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, unless one is influenced by the energy of the Lord, there is no meaning to the relationship of the pure soul in pure consciousness with the material body. The relationship is just like a dreamer seeing his own body working. So very clearly it has been given here. So Atmaha Mayam Rute. So Atma here refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The energy of the Lord makes a person understand his relationship with Krishna. Unless one is influenced by the energy of Lord, there is no meaning to the relationship of the pure soul in pure consciousness. See, this line is very important. Unless one is influenced, there is no meaning to the relationship. That means Lord's anugraha should be there. Then only the relationship can enhance. Or there is no meaning to the relationship in pure consciousness also. So that relationship is just like a dreamer seeing his own body working. Okay. There's something, let me see how so Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has put the because when you say Maya, it refers to the Maya energy of Krishna. And Maya energy of Krishna here, the relationship of the Jiva with his body and senses does not actually take place through avidya Shakti of the Lord, because the Jiva is superior to matter, being full of knowledge. He is like a dreamer seeing his dream body. So here what is being given, relationship of the Jiva with his body and senses does not actually take place through avidya Shakti of the Lord. Jiva is superior to matter and is full of knowledge. Yeah. So here what is given, unless one is influenced by the energy of the Lord, there is no meaning to the relationship in pure consciousness with the material body. There is now here with the material body. Actually, Jiva has nothing to do with the material body. It is only like a dream. The Jiva has nothing to do with the material body. It is influenced by the energy. Unless one is influenced by the energy, there is no meaning to the relationship of the pure soul in pure consciousness. The pure soul is always in pure consciousness. Now, how the relationship with the material body happens? How it happens? Actually, it is not even because of avidya Shakti. It is not even because of avidya Shakti. Agyanta cannot make a Jiva touch the matter. Jiva is always pure. How it is happening then? It's just a dream. In the dream, you touch a tiger. Is it real? No. In the dream, you touch the tiger. So, avidya Shakti cannot influence the Jiva to touch or have a relationship with his body. Because it's very clear. Jiva is always in the spiritual world. How can the Jiva touch the body? Even the avidya Shakti or the Maya Shakti of Krishna cannot make the Jiva touch the matter. It is only a dream what we are doing, what we are seeing. This identification with the body, everything is only a dream. It's just a dream. Identification with the body related people is only a dream. That is what is, this line is very important. That's why I read it at least 3-4 times. Unless one is influenced. But here very clearly it has been given, the relationship of the Jiva with his body and senses does not take place through avidya Shakti of the Lord, does not take place. Prabhupada says, unless one is influenced. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, he cannot be influenced by avidya Shakti. So how to do the samanvaya? Jiva is always superior. Jiva is always superior to matter. So Jiva is always in the spiritual world. What is present in this matter is the consciousness of the soul. The soul is always in the spiritual world. So what is influencing? It is only the matter which is trying to influence. But very clearly it has been said, no matter, that means no avidya shakti can influence jiva to have connection with the matter. So whatever connection is there, that is only Krishna's Maya Shakti. Understand it nicely. This is Krishna's Maya Shakti. It is illusion. That is, it is dream. So Samanvaya has become, what Prabhupada has written is Maya Shakti. What here Srila Bhakti Srila Vishwanath Chaturvedi Thakur writes is Avidya Shakti. What is Avidya Shakti? Ignorance. Ignorance cannot make jiva touch the matter. Like, out of ignorance, I touched the fire. I was not aware that is fire. One is, I am not aware that is fire. Even though I am not aware, still, jiva cannot touch the matter. Whether you are aware, whether you are not aware, whether you are sleeping, whether you are in Sushuddhi, whether you are in the Sapna, you cannot touch the matter. In dream also, actually, you are not touching the matter. It is a word, phantasmagoria. What is it called? Phantasmagoria means what? Illusion. A dream. That dream makes you touch the matter. So very nicely understand this line. Prabhupada says, unless one is influenced by the Maya Shakti, that is illusory energy, one cannot touch. And here, no amount of avidya Shakti also can touch. Ignorance also cannot make the jiva touch the matter. So whatever is happening is just a dream or the influence of Maya Shakti. Okay. Vrindavan Mataji read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
1 minute. One minute. In this chapter, first and second questions are answered. And the 4 basic verses of Bhagavatam are spoken. So first and the second question has been answered. So here is said 2.8.7 verse asked whether the jiva's relation to the body is with or without cause. The verse answers, a relationship of the jiva with the body and senses does not actually occur. Through the beginless avidya shakti, Maya of the Lord Atma, just as there is no relation of the dreamer with his dream body except through ignorance. Because the jiva is superior, parasya, to the body, being composed of knowledge, anubhavat manaha. The relationship occurs by the inconceivable energy of the Lord, which is expert at doing the impossible. Okay?
Shri Shuka Uvacha Atma Mayamrite Rajan Parasyanubhavatmanaha Nagate Tartha Sambandha Swapna Drashtu Ivangjasa. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, O king, unless one is influenced by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no meaning to the relationship of the pure soul in pure consciousness with the material body. That relationship is just like a dreamer's seeing his own body working. Maharaj Parikshit's question as to how a living entity began his material life, although he is apart from the material body and mind, is perfectly answered. The spirit soul is distinct from the material conception of his life, but he is absorbed in such a material conception because of being influenced by the external energy of the Lord called Atma Maya. This has already been explained in the first canto in connection with Vyasadev's realization of the Supreme Lord and his external energy. The external energy is controlled by the Lord. and the living entities are controlled by the external energy, by the will of the Lord. Therefore, although the living entity is purely conscious in his pure state, he is subordinate to the will of the Lord in being influenced by the external energy of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 15.15 also, the same thing is confirmed. The Lord is present within the heart of every living entity, and all the living entities' consciousness and forgetfulness are influenced by the Lord. Now, the next question automatically made will be why the Lord influences the living entity to such consciousness and forgetfulness. The answer is that the Lord clearly wishes that every living entity be in his pure consciousness as a part and parcel of the Lord, and thus be engaged in the loving service of the Lord as he is constitutionally made. But because a living entity is partially independent also, he may not be willing to serve the Lord, but may try to become as independent as the Lord is. All the non-devotee living entities are desirous of becoming equally as powerful as the Lord, although they are not fit to become so. The living entities are illusioned by the will of the Lord because they wanted to become like him, like a person who thinks of becoming a king without possessing the necessary qualification. When the living entity desires to become the Lord himself, he is put in a condition of dreaming that he is a king. Therefore, the first sinful will of the living entity is to become the Lord, and the consequent will of the Lord is that the living entity forget his factual life and thus dream of the land of utopia, where he may become one like the Lord. The child cries to have the moon from the mother, and the mother gives the child a mirror to satisfy the crying and disturbing child with the reflection of the moon. Similarly, the crying child of the Lord is given over to the reflection, the material world, to lord it over as karmi and to give this up in frustration to become one with the Lord. Both these stages are dreaming illusions only. There's no necessity of tracing out the history of when the living entity desired this. But the fact is that as soon as he desired it, he was put under the control of Atma Maya by the direction of the Lord. Therefore, the living entity in his material condition is dreaming falsely that this is mine and this is I. The dream is that the conditioned soul thinks of this material body as I, or falsely thinks that he is the Lord and that everything in connection with that material body is mine. Thus, only in dream does the misconception of I and mine persist life after life. This continues after life, as long as the living entity is not purely conscious of his identity as the subordinate part and parcel of the Lord. In his pure consciousness, however, there is no such misconceived dream. And in that pure conscious state, the living entity does not forget that he is never the Lord, but that he is eternally the servitor of the Lord in transcendental love. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So whether the living entity establishes relation, for that the answer is given. Never can the relation be established. Even Avidya Shakti also cannot establish the relationship. It's only a dream. In dream, whatever relationship is established, that is not true, isn't it? That's not true. One who is dreaming and there is a dreamer's body, that body is different from the dreamer. In the same way, Jiva is always pure. The pure, every Jiva is pure. That's what Srila Prabhupada always says. Every day morning one should say, I am eternal, I am eternal, I am divine, I am divine. When we start saying this, I am divine, one can understand, yes, we have a real divine relationship with Krishna. Krishna helps the devotees. We just have to depend on him. He is the one who guides us. That is why everything has to be given to him. Krishna, everything, whatever you have given, the facility, this body, whatever, everything belongs to you. You conduct my day. You conduct in whatever way you like. You use this body in whatever way you want. Isn't it? Because it's a dreamer's body. It's a dreamer's body. It's not a real body. So, Jiva is always eternal servant of Krishna. Like in Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's Vyas Puja, it was very nice. It is said that Rupanuga Viruthapa Siddhanta Dhvanta Hari, that was his external talk, external mood. Internal mood, he is Nayana Mani Manjari. Nayana Mani Manjari. Always applying altar to the other hand. So that is the real. So when the Jiva tries to understand his relationship with Krishna, that is always servant. Though we are not in the state of Manjari or Gopis, but at least we are servants, eternal servants of Lord. So when we are eternal servants of Lord, that means the servant doesn't have his own choice. He works according to the instructions of Krishna to please him. So the moment we think that I am independent, I can do whatever I want. No. We are slaves of Lord. Not only servants, we are slaves in the hands of a spiritual master who is a messenger of Lord. Simple. So if this is understood, then that is why it is there in no point of time the jiva can identify with the body or can establish its relationship with the body. That means even body related people also. When it cannot establish relationship with its own body only, then how we are calling is my son, is my daughter, is my granddaughter. Again, this is all a dream. It's just a dream. When we are not able to identify with our own body, then body-related people, how we are doing it. Let's see how the karma pash is, sneha pasha, karma pasha. That is why Kunti Maharani says, chindanti. Just remove all this love and affections, what we have. So much affections, love. Isn't it? Okay, so we have to stop here. I have the next batch 8:45 to 9:30. So as to
Mataji,
Vrindavan
small
and
doubt.
Mataji. No, today no
Mataji,
doubt.
मतलब सिर्फ
Doubt all
पूछना
answer.
मतलब आप माताजी इतना सारा अटैचमेंट क्यों दें? सिर्फ ड्रीम ही है तो
वही क्यों है? यही कर्म पास,
इतना सारा जंजाल क्यों?
वासना अटैचमेंट आ ही जाता है. इतना इजी नहीं है अटैचमेंट से बाहर निकलना.
Mataji, if we are in a state of dream, then naturally this is a kind of reflection of our original body. Then where is the original body?
In the spiritual world. That is how Siddhadeha is revealed by Lord if a person is sincerely doing his sadhana and by the mercy of Lord comes to the stage of bhava, where the Siddhadeha is revealed. When it is revealed, he is not going to put it as a label on the head and say to everyone. His activities automatically makes the self-realized soul understand that he is at which state. His activities also will be in that mood only. And slowly Krishna will reveal to him what is he in the spiritual world. Okay.
Mataji, it's a big confusion. We work
Yeah.
so hard to realize that it's all a dream, whatever we are doing.
I say, what is dream only? Even fightings inside the temple is also a dream. Blaming each other, it's a dream.
It is
That's
very
why we have to be
difficult to understand.
very careful. What face we are going to show to Lord if we fight among ourselves, isn't it? At least when a person comes in bhakti, he should be very careful. The enviousness and all should not be there. But what to do? We have taken all these vasanas from so many lifetimes. And whoever we meet or have relationship, it has something to do in the past also. Sometimes a person becomes envious. You should understand that in the past I have also done something to him. So this pasha is a network connection. So network is from the previous, how many lifetimes? We don't know. That is why from the nishtha to come to the stage of asakti, then ruchi, asakti, this ruchi is Krishna's mercy. Till nishtha we can attempt, but one has to depend on Krishna's mercy. This ruchi and taste. The ruchi in the material things will go and taste in the spiritual path will increase. And that is also, it requires Krishna's mercy. We can only wait. We only can wait. We just have to wait for the mercy of God. We cannot demand also. It's really confusing, isn't it? We cannot even demand.
Mataji, like, okay, originally the jiva is so powerful, he cannot be contaminated. Then basically it is the consciousness which is getting contaminated.
Yes.
And consciousness is an expansion or a symptom of soul. And soul
It's only
is
the
there.
soul. It's only the symptom of soul. Yes. The soul
So
is always in the eternal world.
then
Soul
what is
cannot
getting
jump.
then what is getting
Consciousness.
contaminated? Then
Consciousness.
consciousness is a symptom of soul only, and soul is there.
Well, so consciousness is not the symptom of soul. Symptom of soul is just presence of the. It's not soul which is present. It's the qua soul, the consciousness. The soul is present through the consciousness. I think the next class is waiting. We can do this on Thursday. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare
Dandavat pranam.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Bhaji. Dhanyavad.
Krishna.
Krishna, Jai.
Yes.